I have done my care certificate around 4 times. I first joined the NHS in 2017 as a carer, and I remember I had to do it back then. Then when I moved into GP practice world, I have to do my care certificate again. Then when I moved to work at the John Radcliffe in Oxford University Hospitals for the trauma ward, I had to do it again. And the last time was 2023 around, and that was because I moved to another hospital within the NHS, but another hospital, so I have to kind of retake the standards. And I don't regret it. I know it's quite a lengthy course, and when you have done it once or twice or 3 times, it feels like a little bit of difficult, but I appreciate that what they are trying to do is to protect patients, and that we are providing the care they need when we don't have qualifications in healthcare. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the care certificate, what is it, and how you can use AI. I didn't have AI 10 years ago, but nowadays we have AI, and it's so much easier to study, practice, and to write the reflection when you have to write for the care certificate. So watch until the end, because I'm going to show you how I use AI to study medical English, but also why it is important to do the care certificate. The care certificate is your foundation in UK healthcare. Here you will learn how to work safely, communicate clearly, protect patients, and also understand your role. Think of this as your first step into the career if you want to work in health and social care, or if you want to work in the NHS. The care certificate has 15 standards, but just to keep it simple, you're gonna learn how to communicate with patients and teams, how to protect dignity and respect, how to safeguard vulnerable people, which is really important in the NHS. Whatever your role is, doesn't matter. You can be a housekeeper, a cleaner, a receptionist, a work clerk. You really need to make sure that you understand safeguarding. In case you see something strange, you know how to raise those concerns. So you will learn that in the care certificate. Also, you will learn how to handle information safely, how to work in a person-centered way, which is really important, and especially when we have different cultures within our patients. And you will also understand basic health and safety, and support equality and diversity. And there was a new update about learning disability, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit later on. But with these standards, you're not only going to learn theory, you also are going to put this into practice when you are working with the NHS, if you are working in the NHS, but also in social care, when you work for the for care homes, nursing homes, or as in an agency when you go to see patients in their houses. So it's really important. Make sure that when you use AI, you don't use it to replace a mentor, a teacher, or a patient. It's just so you can practice 24/7 without having to be in the hospital, or without having to pay for a teacher 24/7, because I know it's quite expensive. And see this care certificate as your career progression, because once you finish it, you will be able to apply for apprenticeships, which was one of my pathways. Also, you are going to start looking into moving to senior roles. Maybe you are a housekeeper, you can move up to be a healthcare assistant if you like, or if you are a healthcare assistant, you can move up to be a nursing associate. It's a career progression. And also you can start kind of practicing a little bit of medical English if you want to start working within health and care. But also, if English is your second language and you have done a qualification before in health and care in a different language, and you want to understand the UK system, the healthcare system here in the UK, this is a really good opportunity for you to do it. And also it's going to give you more confidence and more communications skills to understand how the health and social care works in the UK. If you want to practice this in a safe space, remember to join my mailing list or my workshop in AI, where you're going to practice with a real healthcare mentor, with a real teacher, and in real time, so you don't feel lonely practicing English. Hey, I'm Leslie Vasquez. I am an OET clinical facilitator, but also I'm a healthcare mentor. And here in Latam Care, we help healthcare workers improve their medical English. If this sounds like you, please remember to subscribe to this channel. A quick disclaimer before we continue. Although I'm a healthcare worker myself, I don't provide any clinical advice. AI cannot replace a qualified teacher, nurse, doctor, therapist, mentor, legal advisor, or coach who has the right training, experience, and professional responsibility when teaching you any topic. Remember that AI can hallucinate or provide inaccurate clinical information. And I always suggest or recommend to complete any training that is available when you are going to use any digital tool. So please go and check. I have a video about it somewhere. Please do that. If you want to connect with me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I am also on this channel YouTube. Or if you want to join my mailing list, you can scan the code on the screen and then you can have something I have done very interesting that's going to help you journey practicing medical English. Right, so we're gonna practice. We're gonna start practicing a little bit of medical English with AI. So I want you to open a Google Docs. I want you to open your AI tool. I use ChatGPT. I also like Gemini and Copilot. I use different tools because of the things I do. But in this scenario, we're gonna use ChatGPT. Please also have the source ready. Remember, we are going to talk about the care certificate in this video. So if you can find the link, I'm gonna leave it in the video, in the notes, in the comments. So please find that link and have it ready. Have your notebook. It's really important to take physical notes. I like, as well as using technology, I like writing. So you have your notebook ready and get yourself a drink. Just to stay healthy and happy while you learn, because it's not easy. Okay, let's go for it. I hope this works. So when you open your document, we're gonna talk about care certificate here. The reference, what I suggest is go on the e-learning for healthcare and you type care certificate and it will show you the care certificate. So here you can see, you click and you can view the document. So here are the standards. Like what I said at the beginning is 15 standards. Here it explains what is in each of the standards, what you're going to learn, and some additional resources. I was saying about the awareness of learning disability and autism. As you may know, there is a big campaign. I'm recording this video in April, and there is a big campaign about a teenager that unfortunately, sadly died because of malpractice, I will say, Oliver McGowan. So everybody needs to complete that training. It's mandatory in healthcare and social care as well. And it's part of one of the changes in the 2026 updates for the care certificate. But again, it's going to be there when you are doing your course. This care certificate for e-learning is free. You don't have to pay for it. If you work in health and social care, you have to sign up with your email account from work. So just please make sure, because some people charge for this. It's completely free, so you don't have to pay. And if you work in a hospital or if you work in care home or nursing home, they also can train you there. I would suggest doing it here, because then if you move to somewhere else to work, let's say like in my case, I was working as a carer in an agency, but they gave me paperwork. It wasn't electronically done back in the day, 10 years ago, 9 years ago. So that's why I had to do it like 5 times myself, because there was no proof that I have done all the reading and studying. So I suggest doing it online, so the record is always there. And it might be easier for the assessor to check your progress as well. So that's the first thing. Remember, e-learning for health, you can find the link free. So what I want you to do is I want you to copy and paste this prompt. You are going to find this prompt in my list of prompts that I created for you when you signed up for my mailing list, which I'm going to leave the link on the comments. in this video, and it's basically you have to say you are going to be my English coach. I speak, and in the brackets you put with your level of English. I will say basic. I also want you to tell the tool what do you feel more nervous about. Some people don't feel nervous about speaking, and I made a mistake there. So what I wanted to put in brackets is speaking, because that's what we are going to change. For me, it was really difficult to speak when I was learning English, so I put speaking, but for other people might be writing. So, you just tell the tool, what did you feel more nervous about? And then, super important, I need simple, clear English for real care situations. So the tool gives you information in plain English without overcomplicating it. And I want you to help me correct mistakes and help me improve. Really important. The idea is that you improve your English as you study for the care certificate. And not just your English, because English being your second language, but also if anyway you speak English, but you are new to healthcare and you want to move into healthcare, also this is for medical English. Some people don't understand medical English despite of speaking English. Anyway, the task for the tool is the tool is gonna act as a realistic character. Could be a patient or could be a nurse. It's important that you tell the tool that you want the tool allow you to respond, and after each response the tool will tell you what you did well, give you a corrected version in simple English, and ask again to try. And some rules for the tool: use simple, clear English only. Keep responses short. This is really important, because sometimes for people that have used AI before to do anything, it gives you a lot of information and you get really confused. So when you are writing your prompt, it's really important that you tell it how much lines do you want it to give you. When we are doing the practice, you will see. Another rule is be supportive and encouraging. Do not give long grammar explanations, and focus on communication, not perfection. Conversation flow. So once you have this ready, what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste. I have mine ready because I wanted to show you in this video. So this is what I have said to my ChatGPT, for example. I copy and paste the prompt, and immediately when I submit it, it said, it's upset here, patient. So he's gonna, the tool, I call it he, I don't know. The tool is gonna be a patient in a care home, and the patient is saying, hello, I don't feel very well today. I have a headache and I feel very tired. Can you help me, please? So now the tool is asking me, it's my turn. What did you say to the patient? I'm just gonna give a simple example. I understand you don't feel well. In my case, because I have experience, I will suggest taking observations. For example, for this patient, I am going to also offer it something to drink, and I'm gonna ask the patient what else the patient is feeling. But this is because I have experience in care. However, if you don't feel confident, you can immediately say, okay, I'm gonna ask the nurse to come and check on you. It's really important that when you see cases like this, you raise, if you see a concern, just raise with your senior member of the team. But in this case, that's what I'm going to say. I understand you don't feel well. Do you mind if I check your observations, and tell me more about your symptoms, and let's say what the tool tells us. So this is what it's telling me. Good, you were polite and clear. Better. So it's now telling me how to improve. I understand you don't feel well. Can I check your observations? Can you tell me more about your symptoms? Say it one more time. Try again. So it's telling me to try again so I can keep practicing. And the patient said, yes, my head hurts and I feel very tired. I also feel a bit cold. And then you can just keep practicing with the tool. I'm gonna maybe just make some mistakes to see if what the tool tells us when we make mistakes. My head hurts. Okay. Does it hurt? So this is the feedback that the tool is giving me, is telling you that the patient said, yes, my head hurts, I feel very tired, I also feel a bit cold. In this scenario, you might be able to offer a blanket. Maybe if the windows are open, you can say, let's check the windows. You check the observations. We are thinking about checking the blood pressure, heart rate, pulse, saturations, all the observations that you're going to be trained for. You don't need to know that to start with. And again, if you're not confident, you just can ask the nurse, the senior nurse or another colleague, say, this patient is not feeling well, or this client is not feeling well, because in this scenario, he's in a care home. So it's important that you escalate, but the idea is to kind of keep that conversation and reassure the patient, saying, okay, we're gonna offer you some help, or can I make you a cup of tea? You know, always make sure the patient feels comfortable with where they are. You can keep practicing with the tool as much as you like, and when you join our AI workshops, we always have healthcare mentors, but also English teacher that can help you improve grammar, that can help you practice those words that sometimes get a bit difficult to say. I find that for me, pronunciation is one of the hardest things to get right. English is my second language, and although I speak English, as you can see, sometimes my pronunciation and my accent is misunderstood, and some patients and some people don't understand what I say, and that is why I always suggest having a teacher where you can keep practicing verbally with someone, and that person can give you feedback. But also you can do this with the tool. You can talk to the tool and it will talk to you back. And yes, you know, with the tool you also can practice by voice. You can talk to the tool and it will give you the feedback verbally in a voice mode. So this is how is giving you the prompts, and you can keep practicing as much as you can with the tool. You can have it 24/7. You can also say, now be the nurse, and it will be the nurse, so you can practice communication, you can practice handover, you can practice just to say, to raise the concerns if, you know, you are not sure what to do with that patient or with that client. It's a really great tool practicing with this tool like AI nowadays. So if you like this video, please remember, like it, comment your questions down below, share with a colleague if you feel like it's gonna help someone. And once you complete your care certificate, I'm gonna tell you, you are going to keep progressing in your career. You're not gonna stop. It's an amazing resource, it's free, and it will teach you a lot about healthcare in the UK. See you in the next video. Bye.